Beneath the rolling waves of the vast ocean lies one of history's greatest mysteries, the legend of Atlantis. For thousands of years, people have wondered whether a mighty civilization truly vanished beneath the sea, or if it was only a story meant to teach future generations. The tale first appeared over 2,400 years ago in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato, who described an advanced island nation with circular cities and breathtaking architecture. His account painted a vision of power, knowledge, and wealth, a society unlike any the world had ever known. But was Atlantis real, or nothing more than an allegory? This is the story of a lost civilization that continues to capture the imagination of the world. The story of Atlantis begins with the Greek philosopher Plato, who lived in Athens during the 4th century BC. In two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato described a magnificent island civilization that lay beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to his account, Atlantis was larger than Libya and Asia combined, and its people had built a kingdom of extraordinary wealth and power. They constructed vast temples, towering palaces, and intricate canals that reflected their mastery of engineering and design. Plato claimed that the Atlanteans were not only rich and resourceful, but also ambitious, with an army and navy capable of challenging the greatest powers of the ancient Mediterranean. Yet he also portrayed them as growing increasingly arrogant, corrupted by their own success, until the gods themselves struck them down. In a single day and night of misfortune, as Plato wrote, the mighty Atlantis disappeared into the sea. For Plato's students, this was more than just a story. It was a warning about the dangers of pride and their inevitable fall of empires. Plato's description of Atlantis painted a picture of a civilization unlike any the world had ever seen. At its center stood a grand city built in concentric circles of land and water, each ring connected by bridges and canals that shimmered under the sun. The outer rings were filled with fertile fields, abundant with crops and livestock, while the inner rings contained bustling harbors where fleets of ships came and went, carrying goods from across the ancient world. At the heart of it all stood the Temple of Poseidon, a towering monument adorned with gold, silver, and precious stones, said to be so radiant that it dazzled all who entered. Palaces rose high above marble streets, while statues of gods and heroes lined the avenues, proclaiming the glory of the Atlantean people. They possessed not only immense wealth but also advanced knowledge of engineering, architecture, and perhaps even technologies far ahead of their time. To the Greeks, Atlantis represented the dream of a perfect society, balanced between nature, power, and prosperity. Yet within that same vision, Plato hinted at the seeds of corruption that would one day bring this glittering world to ruin. For centuries, scholars have asked a simple but profound question: was Atlantis ever real? Or was it only a story invented by Plato? In his dialogues, he claimed that the tale was passed down by Egyptian priests, describing a mighty kingdom that fell thousands of years before his own time. Some believe he faithfully recorded fragments of a lost history, preserving the memory of a civilization swallowed by the sea. Others argue that Plato invented Atlantis as an allegory, a moral lesson about the dangers of arrogance, greed, and the abuse of power. Ancient writers such as Aristotle doubted its existence, calling it nothing more than a myth. Yet the details in Plato's account are striking: the size of the island, the circular layout of its capital, and the sudden destruction that ended its glory. Could these be echoes of a real catastrophe remembered through generations? Or were they carefully chosen symbols to illustrate his philosophy? Modern historians remain divided. Some point to parallels with known disasters, like the eruption of Thera in the Aegean, while others dismiss the entire tale as fiction. The truth is, no definitive evidence has ever been found, leaving Atlantis suspended between legend and reality, a mystery that continues to provoke debate more than 2,000 years later. If Atlantis truly existed, where might it have been? For more than 2,000 years, people have searched for clues, proposing countless theories that scatter the map across continents and oceans. Some scholars insist that Atlantis was in the Aegean Sea, destroyed by the eruption of Thera, today's Santorini, around 1600 BC. One of the most violent volcanic explosions in human history tore apart the island, sending ash into the skies and massive waves across the Mediterranean. Entire settlements were buried, trade networks collapsed, and for centuries survivors told stories of a city swallowed by the sea. Could this disaster have inspired Plato's account? The parallels are striking, and many archaeologists believe Thera is the closest real-world match to Atlantis. Others turn their eyes westward to the coast of Spain, where the marshlands of Danana reveal strange circular patterns in satellite images. These shapes resemble the concentric rings Plato described, a city plan half buried beneath mud and water. Excavations there have uncovered ancient structures and artifacts, fueling speculation that an advanced culture once thrived in this region. Yet skeptics argue that these formations could be natural, and no definitive evidence has linked them to Atlantis. Far across the Atlantic, in the clear waters of the Bahamas, lies the so-called Bimini Road. Beneath the surface, massive stone blocks stretch in long, straight lines, like a roadway leading into the deep. Divers and enthusiasts claim it is a man-made construction, perhaps the last remnant of a sunken city. Scientists counter that it is simply a natural limestone formation, shaped by time and currents. Still, the mystery lingers, and Atlantis hunters continue to flock there, searching for answers. Other theories place Atlantis in the Caribbean, in the Sahara Desert, even under the frozen ice of Antarctica. Each idea captures the imagination, drawing explorers and dreamers alike. Writers, filmmakers, and visionaries have woven these possibilities into novels, documentaries, and myths, ensuring that the legend never fades. Perhaps Atlantis was not one single place, but rather a collective memory of disasters and lost civilizations, stitched together across cultures, whether in the Mediterranean, the Atlantic, or somewhere yet unknown. The search itself has become as legendary as the city it seeks. The more we explore, the more questions arise, and the mystery of Atlantis grows ever deeper. In the modern age, the mystery of Atlantis has moved from myth to science. Today, researchers deploy satellites, sonar technology, and deep-sea robots to explore the hidden landscapes of our oceans. Advanced sonar scans reveal vast ridges, plateaus, and strange geometric shapes lying thousands of feet beneath the waves. Some of these formations appear so regular and precise that they have fueled speculation about ancient ruins concealed on the seabed. Yet when investigated more closely, many turn out to be natural features, sculpted by volcanic activity and shifting tectonic plates. Still, the search continues. In the Bahamas, high-resolution sonar has mapped the Bimini Road in greater detail than ever before, showing enormous stone-like blocks aligned in straight patterns. In Spain's Donana marshes, satellite imagery has uncovered concentric circles beneath the soil, once again sparking comparisons to Plato's description. And in the Mediterranean, divers and archaeologists investigate submerged ruins off the coasts of Greece and Turkey, testing whether ancient cities lost to earthquakes and floods could be fragments of the Atlantis legend. Despite these efforts, no definitive evidence has ever been found. Most scientists remain skeptical, suggesting that Atlantis was Plato's allegory, not history. Yet the legend endures because the questions remain unanswered. What if some of these anomalies are more than just nature's work? What if fragments of a forgotten civilization truly lie buried beneath the waves? Until proven otherwise, the search for Atlantis will continue, not just in the depths of the oceans, but in the imagination of humanity itself. In the end, the mystery of Atlantis remains unresolved. Perhaps it was a real kingdom that vanished in fire and flood, its ruins buried forever beneath the sea. Or perhaps it was only a story, a warning crafted by Plato to remind humanity of the dangers of arrogance and unchecked ambition. What is certain is that the legend has endured for more than 2 millennia, inspiring explorers, scholars, and dreamers across every generation. Atlantis has become more than a lost city. It is a symbol of humanity's eternal quest for knowledge and the hope that, hidden somewhere in the vast oceans, there may still be secrets waiting to be discovered. And until the day evidence is found, Atlantis will continue to live not in stone or ruins, but in the imagination of us all.